How's it going, everyone? Nate Rathman here from Spiritual Stewardship, and today I'm going to be talking about embracing your spirituality and what it's like to expose yourself and expose people in your life to your passion for spirituality. I recently started a podcast with my good friends Shayna and Ashley. We have the Spiritual Nerds podcast, and I made a video about it before, and you can check out the link in the video description. But it's a longer format version of what I'm doing here, which is just talking about what it means to be a spiritual person living in this world, the path of ascension, the soul's journey, growth, all of these things. These are very personal topics for me, and I think I was a little bit unprepared for what it would be like to have friends and family members make comments about the topics, and great comments too, nothing bad. But I had a little bit of a vulnerability hangover after putting myself out there in this way, where the intention for me was just really to connect with and to make content for people who are just like me, people who are very into spirituality and passionate about metaphysics and the journey of ascension. And I didn't quite prepare myself for what it would be like when that message just kind of got spread out to all of these other people in my life. But it's also been a really beautiful moment for me to realize that many people who may not be outwardly spiritual also want to delve in on these topics. And I don't know why I was shocked, because I kept my spirituality very private for many years. And I think a lot of us maybe just don't feel like um, there's necessarily space in everyday life for these conversations. And because it is such a deeply personal process, I do think it is a tender subject for some people. And let's be frank, I mean, the world right now is a fairly divisive place, particularly around personal politics and worldviews. And it hasn't always felt safe to talk about some of these topics without knowing, where they may go or what reactions you might get from people. But as someone who is actively doing it right now, I can say that although it's been a little bit bumpy, I would encourage you to, you know, engage in some of these conversations with people in your life. Put out little feelers, um, drop words like, oh, I'm not vibing with that, or their energy was this way or that, and just see if you get any bites with some of your friends, family, or colleagues. You might be surprised at how many people think about this stuff in a similar way to you. And I'm assuming you're very into spirituality if you're listening to my ramblings on spirituality and metaphysics. That just the idea that there's probably more people in your life who would benefit from you sharing that part of yourself, because it might give them the chance or encourage them to embrace a little bit more of that aspect of themselves and bring that a little bit more into their life. Yeah, I don't have a lot more other than to say I was pleasantly surprised by sharing, what I feel are pretty intimate aspects of my worldview with this broader audience, and having it really reflected back to me that, the main thing I got back from people was, that sounds really cool. It sounds like something you're really into, and I've thought a lot about those subjects as well. I have a lot of people who've said, oh, would you mind covering this topic on a video or covering this topic on a podcast? And I just think that that is good affirmation and confirmation from the universe that when we are willing to be more authentic and to own all the parts of us and really not hide aspects of ourselves, that the universe will conspire to show you other people in your life who carry similar viewpoints. And then it just allows you a much deeper connection point. Because once that door is opened and you step through it with someone, it can really enrich and enliven the possibilities for conversation and connection. So if you have been hesitant about sharing with friends and family about your spiritual journey, your beliefs about God, the universe, existence, you know, safely and with good boundaries and not pushing your beliefs on anybody else, just drop in a few little nuggets here and there in your day-to-day conversation and see if anyone bites. And if they do, just go a little bit further and see if you can engage them in a conversation that's a little bit more meaningful than kind of the surface level. What's the weather like? Or did you watch this show? Those are all great topics. But if you're like me, you're yearning for a deeper connection with fellow humans. And it can really be exciting to open up a new aspect or avenue to a relationship, whether that's with friends, family, colleagues, whoever, even people at the grocery store. If you live this and you embody it and you're not forceful about it, you're just, you don't have any concern about how other people think, you're just owning who you are and sharing it with the world, you're going to get a beautiful reflection back from the universe. So if you like this video, let me know by giving me a thumbs up, and I'll be making more shortly. Talk to you later.